That was just incredible. You know, that was the first time that I had an opportunity to be in a room full of people that do what we do, right? How refreshing is that? Because like you look around and this is family. You know, I'm looking at Karthik, I'm looking at Gary, and looking at Rash, and I'm looking at Mark at the back. You know, I'm looking at David and Cindy at the front, old friends, new friends. Like, damn, this is a family, right? And if I haven't mentioned your name, it's because this is not a roll call, because obviously we'd be like missing a few, right? So this is not a roll call, but wow, how awesome to be here with you guys. And it's incredible. Mo came just for me. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. All right, Mario Brown turned up. Thanks, man. He's bolted now that he heard I'm speaking. So that's good. Right. But honestly, you're in the right place at the right time. You are in the right place at the right time. Can you possibly believe the unequal circumstances that brought you here? Against incredible odds, you were born. Incredible odds. Before you even got started, you kicked ass, you made it to the front of the line. Good job. Right? And every single minute since that point in time brought you here. Right? And there's a damn straight reason why everybody else is still eating lunch down at Starbucks. I don't know it. I don't have the bigger plan, but I can tell you what, that you're here at the right place in the right time. The odds are astronomical, and you made it. And you know what we call that? When we have hundreds of millions of years through life creation, through space, to bring you into this room. Do you know what we call that? We call that evolution. And probably for this room, is that a little bit more appropriate? Right? We'll go back one. You know, like, everything has led up to you being here, right? Everything has led up to you being here. But you know what? When we're standing here, when we're here at this end point, the point of the spear is in this room, right? While we stand here at the point, you know what's also true is that we also stand here. Because tomorrow, what we do will be recognized in this flowchart. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right? So as much as we're here, and this is the point of the spear right now, we also have a responsibility for the people that will come after us. Okay? And as I look around this room, and Aaron, thank you for coming back to make my point, there's some people that are further down the chain than us.
Whoa!
I don't have to listen to this.
Do you get my point? We have a responsibility. We have a responsibility for what we do and what we create. And I'm so pleased and honored to hear people like Jamie Oler talking about our responsibility. Right? To hear people like Carrie Bear, who I have like so much respect for. Is that going to make it to the... Can we cut that bit? No, just kidding, Carrie. Wow, how good is Carrie, right? At 36 years old, running an unbelievable global team with a 10% growth in his SaaS company. Holy dooly. I'll keep the E's out of your podcast, right? How good is Jamie Oler? Whoa! Isn't that a message? Right? And so now let's talk about evolution, because what I'm about to share is the result of evolution. We're not talking about anything other than a progression of facts getting better. Maybe we can call it version 1 in this room or version 2 in this room. Makes more sense to a group of programmers, right? Right? But what I'm about to talk about is the result of evolution. It's the result of influence on me. Okay? So many people have been an influence on me. You know, Rash has been a massive influence on me. And I've never sat down with the man. But he's made me think. Alright, Gaurav, a massive influence on me through all of our interactions. Of course. But what you're about to hear is an evolution of people I've listened to, influencers, podcasts, the other people in this room and the speakers. So you guys are at the point of the spear, and if that doesn't give you goosebumps, stand up. Because this is it. This is the chance that you have to create something amazing. Good job. Who's been to any of my previous talks? Anyone? Nice, okay. I've still got some audience left. That's good. Obviously my targeting's not working so well. Right. Aaron, what can you remember about my talk? If you can't remember anything, which is possible, just say it was good.
Dude, I remember it.
You remember? What do you remember?
It was about like being passionate about life, like following your goals. Like you put on a show, man. I remember
Wow.
like it was yesterday.
Fantastic. Should I do the same one again? That'd be
Can
cool.
you?
Karthik, what do you remember?
I remember being at the right place at the right time and
Nice.
taking action,
Beautiful.
getting there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Wow. So hopefully maybe something I can say today might be memorable. Would that be okay by you?
Yeah.
If something I said made an impact for you, it might be something that you remember after today. Would that be okay? Because that's what I'm really going to try and do. So listen up, shake it down, lick the pencil, let's get on with it. Good job? If you're in, say I'm in. Right, rock and roll. Now when I was looking back through some of the previous talks that I did, I came across this slide from Liverpool in 2015. And I had a lot, like, this is my slide deck, and I started here. And my notes, you can see them. I was nervous. What the heck am I going to speak to a room full of people that I call legends about? And you know what? We all struggle with self-worth. You stuck around. I love you. You're awesome. We all struggle with self-worth. You know, Ryan's not in the room, and we've bagged out Ryan enough. Actually, you can never bag out Ryan enough. It doesn't. No, he's the most amazing guy, right? So we're walking to dinner the other night on the Thursday night, I think. Wednesday night. We're walking to dinner to some place that Kiki was taking us to. About a 15-minute walk. And I said to Ryan, "Hey man, I hear you're doing amazing things on YouTube. Tell me what you're doing." So we told him what he's doing, right? And then we're sitting at dinner, and I said to Ryan Phillips, "Man, are you speaking? Watch the body language. From a world-class martial artist, a 3-time world record holder in breakdancing," and he went, no. How does a guy like Ryan Phillips, who is like this to me, not feel he has the worth to stand up? Because I have to tell you, look at that picture. Without you, we are not complete. You feel me?
Yeah.
Without you, we don't exist. You are a part of the whole. The word integer means complete. The word integrity is a carry on from the Latin phrase integer. It means complete. You can't be a little bit pregnant. And for most of you in this room, that's a non-issue, right? You either are or you aren't. You either tell the truth or you don't. There isn't anything in between. If we don't have you in this room right here now, if we don't have you, we are not complete. Stand up. Stand up. We need you. We need you, right? We need you to make us complete. Never doubt it. Please, from my heart to yours, never doubt it. Each and every single person in this room, you have a right to be here. You have a right to be on this planet. And we need you. Never, ever, ever doubt it. So, one of the questions that I really liked in my talk in 2015, man, I was good back then. That was good. I asked a very simple question. I'm going to ask the same question. How did you get here? Now, it's not a trick. All right, it's not a trick for Cyril. It's easy. He crossed the road and turned up. It's wonderful to see you, mate. So here's my story. My alarm went off at 3:30 in the morning, right? Got up, had coffee, kissed my wife. Drove to the airport, took about an hour. 14 hours later on a flight, got off the plane, followed Kiki's instructions down the stairs, got into a standing cab, called my way to the big hotel, and on Saturday morning, I turned up on time and listened to the other speakers, which I'm grateful for, thank you very much. And then at 2:45, I stood up here. That's how I got here. 1, 2, I'm Australian, so the next bit gets confusing, but you know what I mean, right? I followed a logical sequence of steps, and it brought me here. Does that make sense? I haven't told you any lies, right? Mm-hmm. No marketing speak yet. Right? I haven't told you any lies because we followed a series of steps and we ended up at a predetermined destination. Okay? Karthik, how did you get here?
On a flight.
What flight?
3 hours and then my car.
Nice.
Few points with Aaron.
Nice. Now, I could ask Aaron how he got here, but he can't remember. So if you guys can tell him later on, he'd be sure grateful.
I appreciate that.
Aiden, how did you get here?
To the event?
Yeah? No, to the event. Tell me, like, the facts. The plane, the drive. How did you get here?
Yeah, went to Dubai, Abu Dhabi first, flew to Abu Dhabi, met friends,
Mm-hmm.
bought bike in the desert.
Nice. Just as a side note,
Yeah.
as you do.
And yeah, spent a week there, and met Mosh at the airport.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then
It's a small world.
we got a taxi out here to Bangkok.
Boom. Everybody got a similar story? Everybody else went quad biking in the desert? Everybody else has got a similar story, right? Right? Everybody's got a similar story. Because it's really easy to see the steps that have led you to the place that you are when you look backwards. Because when you follow a series of steps, it leads you to a destination, am I right?
Yes.
So Rob Jones yesterday was talking about this amazing affiliate system on ClickBank, right? Rob said you do A, you do B, you do C, you get D. What if I want to do A plus 1? Well, don't. Because the steps are laid out, and if you follow them, you end up where we've predetermined. Am I clear?
Yes.
I was talking to Mark Sheffer. Let me see if I've got that name right. Mark Sheffer, anybody? Am I saying it right? All right. He said to me, and this is going to put the E on your podcast. I'm sorry, Jay. Mark said to me, stay on the line and don't fucking move. Stay on the line. I'll take it out. Stay on the line and don't go left or right. Stay on the line and don't go left or right. Because if you do A, then B equals C and D. It's logical. And for a room full of coders, it's either 1 or 0, right? There's no other options. Yes, no, true, false, if, then. Right? So if we follow a logical series of steps, we get to a predetermined destination, and it's super easy, even for Aiden to tell us how he got here when you look backwards. I love you, brother. Do you know what's really difficult? Is if you are in the position that you're in right now, and you look forward, and you see the direction and the position that you want to go, what looks like a straight path of logical steps very rarely is. Am I right?
Yes.
Because while it's easy to look back at a sequential series of steps and say A plus B equals C, when I stand, Ivana, I'm so grateful that you're here, thank you. When I stand here as an entrepreneur, and I look there and say goal, and I say, if I do A, then B, and then C, and I look like this, I'm no athlete. Kerry, do you want to do this bit? Right? This is what you look like. I look like one step in front of the other, and surely I'll get to my goal. But do you know what the reality actually looks like? Is that first, oh no, okay, that didn't work. And you end up doing this. Anybody done football drills? Who's from the US? Jonathan? Follow the NFL? Right, there's a football drill that I used to do with my Taekwondo kids. I used to tire them out, and it looks like this. Right, we used to call it up downs. 30 seconds, down, up, 30 seconds. So you can keep doing the longest amount of sets. Right, after 20 seconds, my heart's already racing. And do you know what happens? Because I can walk in a straight line all day, baby. Just give me a path. I can walk a straight line all day, but I can't do this for more than 2 minutes. And yet that's what we're doing as entrepreneurs, and guess what? We're getting tired. Flat out, dead set, exhausted. Am I right?
Yes.
And yet we're still dancing. Why? Because my wife said to me, in a time of darkness, because we don't have another choice. Go and drive an Uber. No thanks. Do you know why? Because you set your worth. Every single person in this room sets their worth. And you know that you can set great things. And so you dance. And when it's at the end of that line, it's real simple to look backwards and say, that's what I did. And it's real difficult to get there initially. Am I right? And we keep dancing. So I want you guys to follow a logical series of steps with me. Everybody in? If you're in, say I'm in. If you're not in, I totally understand. Kathy, can you pass it on this side of the room? If you've already got paper, say you've already got it. If you want to lie, you can do that too. Alright, guys, can you pass them down? Make sure you've got a piece of paper. Who needs a pen? Good, we'll pass them around as well. Guys, I bought every pen the 7-Eleven had. Alright? And I've got 16. So if you've got one, pass it on. Alright? Throw some pens around. If you need a pen, grab a pen. It's the old sales line. Have you got a pen? That's okay, I'll wait. Go. Pass them around. Under the table, thanks, appreciate it. You guys gonna do an exercise with me? Everybody right?
Yes, sir. Right. I'm just taking your photos.
I love it.
I wasn't you, it was him.
Everybody good? If you need a pen or paper, put up your hand. We need a couple here. Alright, you guys, are you ready to do an exercise? It's not going to hurt, I promise. We're going to talk about following a logical series of steps, okay? Good? Everybody good? Good. Rocket. First things first. Now this is a game. You'll notice that this piece of paper is very, very similar to every other piece of paper that you've ever had in your entire life. It has two sides. It took me a long time to... I'm Australian. Sometimes you just have to point out the obvious, right, Karen? He lost me at syllable. The first time is a game. The second time is when we make this happen, okay? So the first time, let's do this. Now I'm doing it backwards because I come from down under. You guys start from the top, right? At the top of your piece of paper, write down a place. Now here's the rules. Write down a place that has to be hard to get to. It must be impossible. It could be at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. It could be isolated in the middle of a desert. It must be a very, very, very difficult, physical, real place on Earth, on the moon. I don't care which universe you're counting in, right? But write down a place. Very difficult. Now, do one more thing for me. Write down some details. If it's a volcano, tell me how high it is, how hot it is, what's the water temperature, what's the atmosphere, how do you feel, what does it smell like? Please do this. Right? Please do this. Write down some details. Jamie, all are you with me?
I'm trying to find a pen.
The man has honesty leaking from his pores. A place that is isolated and very difficult to get to. It must be really, really hard for you to win this game. Oh, now you want to win the game. Oh, I see how it works. All right. Everybody good? Got a place? Great. Now, question number 2, just under that place. If you could get there, how would you get there? Do you need a submarine? Do you need a helicopter? Do you need a team of mountain adventurers? Do you need shoes with spikes on? If you could get to this impossibly difficult place, how would you get there? All right, just write it down. I'd need I'm going to catch her, buy a ticket on the BTS, and head on up to Tesco. That's not difficult enough. You go and win. Right. If you could get there, how would you get there? Everybody good? Mark Blackson, you are a legend. When I thought I knew about video, I met Mark and I went, I'm a dummy. Do you know what? If you're the smartest person in the room, get in a different room. This is the room, boys and girls.
Sure.
Because there are geniuses here. Right, number 5. Working backwards. So for you, it's number 3. Maths. Who would you need to help you? Real question. Who would you need to help you? All right? Would you need your wife's permission? That's okay. I understand. Would you need a submariner? Would you need a helicopter pilot? Would you need a train engineer? Would you need Mario Brown and his CrossFit legendary status? Right? Who would you need to help you? If you could do it, you're going to need a team, right? Who would you need? Write them down. Not their names, their position and what they do. I need a submariner. I need a helicopter pilot. Physical equipment. What would you need that you don't already have? Would you need a spacesuit? Would you need a submarine? Would you need a fireproof volcano suit? Speak to Nick Howell. Right? What would you need? Write it down. Hey guys, if I'm talking too fast, you guys just need to listen faster. Is that okay? What would you need that you don't already have?
Small.
Go and get it. What would you need? Right, we're getting close. What knowledge or skill would you need to acquire to get it? Would you need to learn how to breathe underwater? Would you need how to learn how to fight fires? Would you need how to learn how to first aid yourself in the middle of the Amazon? What skills or knowledge specifically would you need, Michael Thomas? What would you need? What skills? I'm just calling you out, man. Keep going. What are you working on? What would you need? What skills would you need? What knowledge would you need? I'm sure there's a PLR course on that. Now I'm getting close. I'm getting real close. Right. This is important. Did I say that clearly enough? This is important. What's the one thing you could do today to facilitate this journey? What? I'm not asking you to do something that you couldn't. Could you research on Google? Could you go and buy some rope? Could you possibly look up the word vernacular and find out what the heck does it mean? What is something that you could do? Anything. If all you could do is stand up out of your chair and say yippee, then write that down, because that's what you can do. Because here's the reality. There are things that you can do and there are things that you can't do. Willingness comes in a whole different package, but there are things that you can and things that you can't. Has everybody written down something that they can do? Now, what you'll notice very clearly, even for Australians, is that there are 7 numbers on my PowerPoint slide. And I haven't shown you the top one yet, have I? Because I'm going to save that for the real version. Remember I said we're going to play first, and then we're going to get it real? Because I'm going to give you guys an incentive, right? Because like you're about to turn over the paper and do this whole thing again, and oh God, I have to count to 7 by myself? Yes, you do. You with me? Alright. I'm going to save number 1. But has everybody got a place that's hard to get to, some equipment that they need, some things, and something that they could do today? Has everybody got it? Turn your papers over. Let's do this for real. Let's do this for real. Let's make something happen. If you're ready, say I'm ready. If you're not here, put your hand up. Ah! Alright. Only the Irish. Only the Irish. Now we're going to do this for real. Can anybody remember what the first thing was on the other slide? Place. Thank you. So, on this piece of paper, because I'm not joking now, I'm actually dead serious. Vivek, you with me? Right. I want you to write down a goal. And in the same way as you did with the place, I want you to put some detail. Make it hard. Make it hard. If getting home in one piece is your goal, speak to Aaron, he has the skills. I love you, man. You make my presentation so easy.
I'll be right back.
All right. Yvonne, have you got it? Jonathan, have you got it? Ali, have you got it? What a room full of legends. Damn. The billions of dollars in this room is astounding. And I get to call you guys friends. I'm so honored. I'm so honored to stand in this room with you, Art, and with you, Anna, and with you, Stefan, and Chris. I'm so honored to stand in this room and call you guys friends. Thank you. Appreciate it. Really. Has everybody written down a goal? Now, have you put some detail behind it? Don't just tell me it's a Mercedes. Tell me the make, model, color, year, and the stitching on the seats. Give me some detail. Got it, Mosh? Right. If you could, now I'm not saying that you can, because what I asked you to do was write down something hard. And Care Bear doesn't count. I asked you to write down something hard, but if you could get there, if you could, what would you need to do? Just write it down. Would you need to have $1 million launch? Would you need to have a $50,000 a month salary? Would you need to have a team of programmers? Would you need to have, if you could, what would you need? Am I clear? Write it down. Alicia, where's Alicia? Alicia, did she make it back from lunch? Is she okay? I want to hug Alicia because she has made me a lot of money. Guys, if you don't know Alicia Little, find her somewhere in the event. She looks after people like gold, and she's a really good person to get to know. And she runs a wicked cool webinar, so get hold of her. Right, moving on. Do you remember this one? You've got a goal on the piece of your paper, I hope. If you could get there, you know how to do it. Who would you need to help you? If you don't know them by name, write down what they do. Do you need an SEO specialist? Do you need a project leader? Do you need a team member? Do you need a Facebook ads specialist? Do you need a retargeting wizard like Rash Bin? Do you need a specific skill set? Write it down. Can you guys see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see where I'm going with this?
Yes.
Because we're about to get real. What you wrote down on that piece of paper is unique to you. And what I'm about to show you should blow your mind. What would you need that you don't already have? Sidebar. The answer is nothing. Now, there may be some physical things you need. You might need a better website. You might need better hosting. You might need a better programming team. But you, guys, pencils down, eyes on me. You already have everything you need right now to achieve that goal. You have everything you need. Don't kid yourself. Because your resourcefulness is your best resource. Anybody heard that before?
Yes.
Your best resource is sitting in the chair with you. You have everything you need to be a human being and reach people and assemble a team and kick some fucking ass. Oh, you know what? You have everything you need. What would you need that you don't already have? If it's physical, go and get it. Declan, you need a new laptop. What knowledge or skill would you need to acquire? Are there things that you wish you knew? Man, there's kids in the room. I'm sorry. I was trying to curse less. You know what? I read somewhere that cursing is a sign of an idle mind. So I'll try and speak mine up a little. Apologies. What knowledge or skill would you need? What do you need to brush up on? What do you need to Google? Where can you find that answer? In this room, possibly. Online, if not. At a library, if not. What do you need? Write down the skills. Do you remember this one? Now, this is going to terrify everybody in the chair, because you're about to realize how small a step you have to take. Right? Do you remember Carey said, focus on getting started, don't focus on finishing the task.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it scares the heck out of you, right? You get overwhelmed. Oh my God, I have to do that? Whoa, no. What's one thing you could do? What's one thing you could do? What's one thing, Alex, that you could do? And the direction you need to take to get there fills you with joy, you are going to get tired quickly. But it's a funny thing. And some unbelievable achievers in this room, maybe you can back me up. Jamie Ola, Mario Brown, right? Maybe you can back me up. When what you're doing brings you so much joy that you can't do it even if you try, does it make life easier? Right? If what you're doing fills you with so much joy that you just can't stop thinking about it, you just have to do it, right? When you have that amount of joy, it takes a heck of a lot of weight off. Now, I'm not talking about burnout. I'm going to cover that in just a second. I'm not talking about 20-hour days that you can't sustain. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you look yourself in the mirror and you look yourself in the eye and you say to yourself, is this okay? Because if all you do is re-evaluate your direction and ask yourself if there's joy at the end, then I've done my job. If you're with me, say I'm in. Right? I've still got a few people to convince. Are you all right? Yes. Guys, are you okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you filled with joy if you can hit this?
Absolutely.
Are you filled with joy?
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll. Now, go backward. I noticed something. Ryan Phillips! The man. Great to see you, brother. Ryan Phillips is a legend. I had a look at, we'll let Ryan settle in. I had a look at the presentation I did in 2015, and I noticed something over on here on the side, which I never really spoke about in Liverpool. But for a long time, the image that I aligned myself with was a tree. And I think it's a really important point to talk about. Why? I want to think like a tree. Okay? Post that on social media and see how you go.
Got lots of roots.
James said I get lots of roots, huh? No. No. It's because a tree never looks at itself and says, I'm big enough. You never see a tree go, that's enough, that's okay, I'll take the next year off. You never see a tree stop pushing. Anybody ever had like their water drainage and the roots of the tree find their way in? So how do they get through concrete? Because they just get in there and just don't stop until it's done, right? You never see a tree stop reaching out. You never see a tree hit a season where they have to shake every other thing off, lay down for a little while and get up and try again. Because guess what happens? Every now and again, you need to shake it all off, lay down for a little while and get back up again. I assimilate with a tree. And I want to be like that. I don't want to ever stop pushing. And I want to never stop reaching. If I can ask for one thing, let that be the way I think and move. Is that okay? That's why I put it on the side of my presentation in Liverpool, and I just want to expand on it just a touch. Has anybody been to the Natural History Museum in London? Hands up, hands please, hands, okay. They've still got some tickets left to sell, that's cool. This is, in fact, this picture doesn't do it justice because the scale is hard. There's people standing here. This is the largest sequoia on record, sequoia tree that was cut down. And this thing is 4 humans high. Whoa, probably 3.5 feet. Right? This is 4 humans high. I want to talk about this just for a second because I think it's really important on this whole journey. And I'm going to get into some random thoughts in just a moment, but stay with me on this one. Can you see these little white words written? Can you guys see that? It's probably too small. Okay. What those little white words, it's probably still too small. These are events that this tree has witnessed. Okay, I'm going to go over to my laptop because I really can't read it from here. It says things like Chaucer and the Joan of Arc, 1400. It says Leonardo da Vinci designs the flying machine in 1500. Still living, baby. Still pushing one more branch out. Then it says Pilgrim Fathers settle in New England. 69, and a whole bunch of other dates. And that tree lived through all of those things. Now, I want to do one more thing on this, because I was talking to Jamie Older about this on Thursday morning in one of the most profound chats that I've had this weekend. Right? Rash? No, yeah. One of the most profound chats I've had so far. Because Jamie and I were talking about this concept of seasons. Do you remember that? Yeah. So we were talking about the concept of seasons and, seasons impacting us. Right? What season are we in? Sometimes we find ourselves in the summer, when everything's sweet and rosy, and things are just making money, baby, and all is well. And you can kite surf all day, and everybody still loves you. That's called the summer, and it's awesome. And people go on summer vacation because they love the summer. Am I right? That's a season. There's also a season called winter. And that winter is cold and hard and really difficult and sometimes life-threatening. But do you know what's really true? And this is a fact. You cannot dispute a fact. The fact is that one season always follows another. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Am I right or wrong? Does one, probably not here in Bangkok, but does a season follow each other? Am I right? Does it pretty much always go summer, autumn, winter, spring? Is my year 2 learning skills still relevant? Summer, autumn, winter, spring. But have a look at this. Have a look at this. Because on the analysis of a tree when you cut it down, you can see the impact of the seasons at its core. Now, it never stopped breathing, it never stopped pushing, it never stopped reaching out until we cut it. And every single season had an impact on its core. And I want to show you something really cool, because it's really fuzzy words. The dry season, the tough one, where living things struggle, creates the darkest, strongest wood. The wet season, when things are just a little bit easier, creates a softer core. And the scars left by the fire are also visible. The influence of external forces affects our core. Because are we not living, breathing things? Do we not fall under the same rules of nature? The external influences affect our core. And as Jamie Oler said, you are an external influence on your customers. Are you helping them grow? Are you leaving scars? It's a question to ask. I love that talk, man. I've got a lot to learn and a long way to go, and I appreciate it. But I want to do something else. Because like I said, despite the unbelievable events of history, this baby kept on growing. Because, with one more slide on my tree analogy, there's still life. Do you get me? Sometimes, when they take everything you have, you've still got another shot. And that's what being an entrepreneur is about. Because so many people that I look out into this planet that I love are unaware of their life, and they drift through traffic, through jobs they hate, into cubicles they resent, home to arguments they wish they never had. And they are unaware. The blessing of the entrepreneur. Be grateful for this, if nothing else. The blessing of the entrepreneur is that we get another shot. When they take it, you just get to roll your sleeves up and say, bring it. Next season, next chapter. Right? You with me? Everyone here still has life in that core. Push hard. Don't stop. Keep growing. Get bigger. Get stronger. Got me? Rock and roll. So, in Liverpool in 2015, I talked about being inspired by a gentleman named Brad Goss, who had talked at the first event I went to. And Brad said, for God's sake, do something epic. You know, and I had a WordPress plugin that I was working on at the time, and I put a line through it, and I said, I don't want to be remembered for that. Some sort of black hat, scammy, scraper thing, right? No. Do something epic, right? Do something epic, right? Let's really roll. Let's do something epic. Do something epic. Can't wait to see what you do. Wow, you've already done something epic. Your next chapter is incredible. Cyril Cook. So I talked about it, and in fact, on my blog, I don't blog as much as I need to. In fact, it's an alien word for me. It's on my blog. Yeah. Some thoughts that I shared were, it's a post titled Steve Jobs, Gladiators, and Something Epic. Traveling through Italy, I was amazed and astounded by the architecture. Who's been Italy? Who's been through? A pretty cool place, right? Did you take any photos like Colosseum and that kind of stuff? Did you the Trevi Fountain and go? Right? Do you want to know something cool? They built something that we still go, whoa. And people travel for thousands of miles to go and stand in front of what they built and go, whoa. You have an opportunity to build something unique, personal, that people will travel to and go. Right? But since that time, and here's where we kick into some stuff, since that time, there's been some incredible hills and valleys. Since that talk. Incredible hills. Putting on the books $1.3 million in on the books recurring income. Whoa. Hills and valleys. Hills. My daughter picking up her academic achievement award at the end of last year. Man, tears down my face were incredible. Hills and valleys. Hills and valleys. Hills and valleys. The hug my wife gave me and said, it's okay. You get another shot. Hills and valleys. And I'm going to get to some of the valleys in just a second. But Mr. O'Keefe, with personal experience in this in the last 2 weeks, what does this look like to you? Can you make the sound for me? Beep, 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 beep. Everybody know the sound? Everybody know the opposite sound? Beep. Can I get a restart, baby? Beep, 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 boom! Just give me another shot. Just give me one more chance. I'll take the beeps. They're damned hard. Some of the darkest days of my life are behind me in this last 18 months. But I'll take the beeps. I'll take the beeps. Because I don't want this. Beep. I'm not done yet. Is anybody here done? I'm asking that as a serious and genuine question. Kerry Bear. Is anybody here done? Because if you feel like it, that you're done, come and see me afterwards. Because you're a long way from done. You're a long way from done if you feel like that. But I'm going to tell you where I'm at. I'll take the beeps. Does it make sense?
Yes.
I'll take the beeps. They suck at the bottom because the climb is shit. But I'll take the beeps because the view from the top is awesome. I'll take the beeps over the alternative every day for the rest of my days. So let me tell you about the massive mistake that I made that cost me $500,000. If you want to hear it, put your hand up. If you don't want to hear it, now's the time. Wow, okay, I've got an audience. My targeting's good. In the right room. The massive mistake that cost me $500,000, but never everything. The massive mistake that cost me $500,000 of my own personal money that I took out of our mortgage, that I sold our house, that I nearly missed our kids' school payment, but never everything. But never everything. Because I'll tell you about my boa constriction. B-O-A, this is my boa constriction. The thing that's choking me to death. Let me tell you about it. The B was unbelievable, complete and total burnout. To the very bottom of my energy. Where I was so exhausted and tired that I could not answer a Skype message physically. When Mo pinged me and said, "Are you in?" I answered in my head, "Yeah, I'd love to be, man." But I couldn't get the strength to type. Holy shit. I burned out so damned hard that I couldn't even acknowledge my customers, my crew, my team, who held it together so unbelievably well. I'm so grateful for them, right? How am I on time, Dad? Jesus. All right, I'm going to get the accelerated version. I burned out hard. And I know, again, for a fact, based on what I've seen in this industry, in social media, that there's a lot of that. Right? And I don't have the answers. I love what you said about the therapy before. I thought that was brilliant. Okay, I don't have the answers. It's still a specter for me. It's still hovering for me, right? I burned out so hard I couldn't even function, right? And the only cure I found was just breathing. Dead set for real. Just breathing. Just living some time in gratitude. I'm going to go through some other things that helped me through this thing. But this was around my neck like a choking anaconda. That was number one. Number two, the O is overextension. Hands up in here who's got more than one program. Yeah, me too. Me too. And this was a massive cause of so many failures and burnout for me. Overextension. I launched, we did Rep One, it was amazing. We got like $450,000 off the launch. Beautiful. I'd already put 200 in, affiliates got 200, I'm on to the next one. We launched Webinar Geo. We launched Data Geo. We launched Discover. We launched a relaunch of Hydravid. And now I've got 5 SaaS platforms, all with $10 million earning opportunity, and I'm focusing on none of them. Scared? If I had taken just 1 or 2 and really put everything I had into it, that would be 10 million right now. Overextension. Don't do it. You know, we talked already about the commitment to your customers, growing what you have. Acres of diamonds, baby. You've got it all in your backyard. Right? You've got platforms out there, push them to their limit, right? I overextended. And the last one has been really hard for me to admit because I didn't see myself in this box. Arrogance. Unbelievable mistake of arrogance. Of thinking that I can mail the shit out of my list. It doesn't matter. I'll always get more. Fuck you, you bastard. I'm talking to me right now. How dare you treat those people that way? That unbelievable arrogance that I had, and I'm damn sorry for that. Alright? But I recognize this mistake. You guys have heard the phrase, right? One of the best ways to make money is with OPM. What does that stand for?
Other people's money.
Other people's money. One of the best ways for you to make money is through other people's mistakes. Please learn. Please learn. It didn't cost me everything, but it came close. Please learn. If you're feeling tired and exhausted, rest. Talk to a friend. If you don't have that luxury, talk to a doctor who will take your appointment now. And if you still can't do it, my Skype address is UMOWeb, UMOWEB, you reach me. And we'll do it together. If you're feeling burned out and exhausted, it can very quickly take everything from you. Have a very close look at what you're working on and ask yourself, is it where you need it to be right now? And if not, how can I get it there? Who do I need? What are my skills? And let's get started. Don't focus on finishing the task, focus on starting. Right? And arrogance, please. We've covered it enough. Statistics are people too, you know. So, I was at the bottom, didn't know what to do, absolutely confused. Do I concentrate on AdWords? Have I, do I need to be doing more webinars? Should I be running Facebook? I did, nothing. I really didn't have the strength. Honestly, I didn't have the strength. And I'm speaking to Tom Beale, and I said, Tom, I'm at the bottom, baby. And he said, you know what? I don't know what to do, but I know doing nothing isn't it. So where do you start from there? You draw a map of where you are and where you want to go, and you make sure that the journey is filled with joy, and you take a step forward. All right? Let me tell you the story of the sower. I'm going to be real fast with it because I'm running out of time. Guys, if I'm okay, tell me I'm okay. Like, Arby's going to speak, and I can't wait for what he has to say, but there's a couple of things I want to cover with you. So are we okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be respectful of you, Arby. I'm going to finish as quick as I can, brother. All right? The story of the sower. The sower, now I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about a story. The story of the sower, right? The sower was the person responsible for feeding the village. Just like everyone in this room. You all are the sower. You are the one that generates the crops. Now the story starts really, really well because it says the sower was a wise man. You don't want to put a fool in charge of feeding everybody, right? All right? So, well done. You took the job of the sower. You're a wise man. Gender dependent. Right? The second part of the story says, as the sower was sowing his seed and getting it into the ground, the birds ate some. It didn't have a chance to get heat, light, warmth, rain, water. They didn't grow. The birds came and ate them. Now, how many times have you put something out there and people have just taken it off you? And let me tell you, that's going to happen. It's written. It's going to happen. People are going to take it. Do you know what? Feed the damn birds. They're good to look at. They're fun. They spread seeds around. You might never know where that's going to grow. Right? Feed the birds and don't worry about it. Feed the birds. But it doesn't stop there. The second part of the story said, as he was sowing seed, some of the seed fell on rocky, dry ground. Some of the things that you do just never take hold. Truth. Some of the things that you do just never work. They just don't grow. Don't know why. Wrong audience, wrong product, wrong market. Don't know why. But that's the reality. And yet some of the seed, and enough of the seed, here's the key. Enough of the seed fell in good arable land that it got a hold. And it got enough heat and light and water and all of the effects of the seasons, and it grew. Not only to feed the village and the sower, but it left enough seed for us to have a crop next year too. Some of the things you do are not going to work. But if you just keep sowing the damn seed, you're going to have the crop and enough for next year too. Got it? Keep sowing the damn seed. Look where you're throwing. If you're throwing it on rocky arable land, move, change, get something done. Don't worry about the birds. They're going to take it from you. Keep sowing the damn seed. Because that's where growth comes from. You with me?
Yes.
You all are the sower. How lucky you are to be in this room full of people with the skills to sow and feed the community. Damn! I love this group. Right, so some disparate thoughts. During a really dark time, when Tom Beale said to me, I don't know what to do, but I know doing nothing isn't it, he put this book in my hand and it's called The One Thing. Because if you can only do one thing, make sure it's good. Write this book down. If you haven't read it already, Gary Keller on Amazon, go and get it. All right? Write the title in a big whiteboard behind your desk. Do the one thing. that's going to make the biggest impact and is going to change everything else. Really helpful advice. And I'll tell you another quick story. You guys all right for a story?
Okay.
Good. 2 successful men. Now, I wrote this story about a month ago when there was some serious issues in this industry that started to affect everybody. And I found myself caught up in it, and the worry was affecting me. Anybody ever been worried about something in the world that's happening? Is it going to affect me? Yeah, I found myself caught up in it, right? So I wrote this story because I thought it was pretty apt. 2 successful men were set upon by thieves who wanted to take from them all their possessions and their life. And the 2 men ran. They ran for their lives. And as they ran, they found themselves in a rocky field. In a rocky field. And soon they both had stones in their shoes. The first man quickly stopped and he took the stone from his shoe and now unhindered quickly caught up with the second man. He turned to the second man, his friend, and he said, "Take the stone from his shoe, man." And the second man turned around and he said, I can't, they're going to get me. I can't stop, they're going to get me. I can't even stop, keep going, and they hold on. His foot is now bleeding. And they're going slower and slower. The man said, "Take the stone from your shoe. We need to run." He said, I can't stop. I can't. And they limped a few more steps. And the thieves came up to them. And the first man took a few extra steps and said, "Come on, please. Please, come on. Come on. I can't stay. I can't stay." And the first man ran, unhindered, to security and safety, while the thieves took the life and all that they had of the second man. Sometimes in our world, there are things that are massively concerning for everybody around. But if you don't take the stones from your own shoes, the little things that are bugging you, then the big things will overtake you quickly. Please hear me. What's bugging you? Is it a relationship you need to fix? Is it an apology you need to make? Is it something that you need to do and haven't, for God's sake, stop and take the rock from your shoes? Get rid of the things that are bothering you and get them out of your life in any way you can, or the thieves are going to take all you have. Am I clear?
Yes.
Don't worry about what you can't impact and can't affect. Just run faster. The only way to do that is fix the damn shoe. Got me? Right. Good story. Right. Get out of your own head. Kerry talked about this. We've got so much to do, so many things I need to get done. Oh my God, I've got this next idea. Oh my God, I haven't even finished the last idea. Oh my God, I promised I'd set up that ad. Oh, whoops, I didn't call that customer back. Damn, I didn't send that email. Holy crap, somebody else is launching today. We've got so much that's happening, right? One of the things that really helped me was get out of my own head. Sit down with a piece of paper, just get it out of your head, get clear, and then choose the one. Yeah? Because otherwise, if you're overwhelmed, if you've got all this going on, you can't think clearly. And the people in this room get paid for thinking clearly. Let me say that again so I'm clear. The people in this room get paid for thinking clearly. Make sure you give yourself the opportunity to do so. Get it out of your head. I found it really helpful. Just sit down, write everything that's bothering you, everything you've got to do, everything you need to have done. Pick one, get it done. Throw the rest of the paper away. All right, just do the most important thing. Get it out of your head. So my 2 biggest mistakes with this $500,000 thing. The first is, I kept adding features to my program. Right? I had this vision of what I was trying to create, and I was like, do you know what? It's going to be amazing. I'm going to do something epic, right? And I went, this is going to be so damn cool that every single other person on the planet is going to hit up Mark Zuckerberg for my number, right? To let that sink in for a second. Just kidding. I had such a big vision of what I was going to create that I just kept adding to it. Like, oh man, let's do that. You know, let's plug in another API. Like, let's get that in. Let's build something else. Like, do you know what that's called? It's called ego. And you know how much it paid me?
Nothing.
Nothing. In fact, it nearly cost me everything. Ego does not pay the bills. Ego does not serve your customers ever. Stay lean. Get a version out and get feedback, adjust and move on. Okay? The only way to succeed is to have a product that people can buy. I spent $500,000 catering to my ego, and I did not have a buy button on a page anywhere. Does anybody else see my mistake? OPM, baby. Please, guys, get a version out. Please don't release crap. If it's not ready, fix it, fine-tune it, lean it down, de-feature, and get it to market so your customers can tell you what you need to do. Good advice? Stay lean. Then you can run faster. Stay lean. The second big mistake I made was I thought I knew what marketing was. I thought I knew. I thought I was a legend. Do you know why? Because I could contact a few good friends and say, can you mail me? And they did, and we made a shitload of money, and I thought I was a fucking king. And I was shit. Right? Because that's not marketing, that's networking. Right? What's marketing? What's marketing? In fact, I'm still struggling with the answer. Okay? Because as I look all around the world, there's a whole bunch of activity that's happening that's not marketing. Okay? Let me see if I can break it down. I read this one. Okay? I read this one. It's called the One-Page Marketing Plan. Write it down. Go on, I'll wait. Write it down. It's important. By Alan Dibb, the One-Page Marketing Plan. And in fact, when I'm trying to answer the question of what is marketing, this answers it so well that I can't help but quote from it. Please endure me for a second. Here's the simplest, most jargon-free definition of marketing you're ever likely to come across. If the circus is coming to town, and you paint a sign that says, circus coming to the showground on Saturday, that's advertising. If you put the sign on the back of an elephant and walk it into town, that's promotion. If the elephant walks through the mayor's flower bed and the local newspaper writes a story about it, that's publicity. If you get the mayor to laugh about that, that's public relations. And if the town's citizens go to the circus and you show them the entertainment booth, explain how much fun they'll have spending money at the booth, answer their questions, and ultimately they spend a lot at the circus, that's sales. And if you plan the whole thing, that's marketing. Alright? Let's get better at marketing. Right? Let's get better at marketing. Let's plan that whole thing. Let's talk about PR and advertising and promotion and all sales and all the factors that go to make it up. That's marketing, right? Let's learn. And how do you get better at marketing? Can anybody remember from my Liverpool event the push-ups exercise? I'm not going to ask either of you two because we're going to be here for a long time. Right? So I'm not going to ask anybody to do push-ups unless you want to. Right? So just give me a show of hands, right? And we're gonna drop the hands as the numbers get smaller. So if I was paying right now, I have money in my pocket, and I was paying for the person who could do the most amount of push-ups. Put your hand up if you could do 100 or more. Like, put your hand up if you could do 100 or more. Right, you're out. Jonathan? Wow, that's impressive. I'm paying, right? That's why the hand went up. He had paying. I'll push-ups. Right. But so, like, who could do 10? Could do 10? Okay, cool. Keep your hand up. Drop it. Drop it as I get higher, okay? Keep it up. Who could do 20? Okay, couple of hands going down. Cool, be honest. Who could do 30? A few more hands. Yep, sweet. Awesome. Who could do 40? Okay, 50? 50? Okay, cool. Mark, what's your number? About 50. All right, cool. You know, it's like the majority of people dropped around 20. So that'll work for my exercise. So this is another lesson that I teach my kids. Okay? If we all said that our life depends on it right now, when we dropped on the floor and we started doing push-ups, okay? And the most you could do was 10 or 12 or 15 or 25 or 50 or 60, whatever it is, whatever the most is that you could do. And you push until that shake kicks in and you can't quite get up and boom, that's it, you're done, right? That's your number. Let's say it's 20. And we look at you and we know that 20 is all you can do. Because you can tell, right, when somebody's done. Now here's the question. Is 20 all you can do tomorrow? Like, 20 is all you can do now, but if I let you rest and you could come back, could you do another 10? So hang on a second, I thought 20 was all you could do, but now you're telling me after a little bit of rest you could do more. That's interesting to me. So let me show you what happens. If you do as many as you can, I just realized I'm saying push-ups, so you guys call them press-ups, right? Now we go, oh, if you do as many as you can, and let's say that number's 20, and your arms are shaking and you collapse and you rest a little bit, and you come back tomorrow, you can do another 20, am I right? 20. Do that for another day, 20. On the third day or the fourth day, you manage the 21st one. Damn. Right? And now you keep that up and you got 21. A few days later you got 25. A few days after that you get 30. You know what? You can keep that routine all the way up to 100. When before you were collapsing at 8. Okay? Now that only happens, guys, this is my point. This is my point. That only happens if you do as many as you can. Because if you can do 20 and you do 5, you do not get any better. Am I clear? Alright, so that's your choice. If you can do 20, but you pike at 5, then good luck. Because you're not going to get any stronger. The only way you get stronger is to push that hard. You do as many as you can, for as long as you can, with everything from your very, very soul, and you get stronger. So how do we get better at marketing? You don't get better at push-ups by reading about push-ups. How do we get better? By doing. And my point is clear. If you can do 20 and you pike at 5, you will not get better. You do the very best you can do. You know that you need to research your customers better. You know you need to sharpen up your images and your ads. You know your landing page is just off a bit. And if you do the best you can, then amazing things will happen. But if you pike at 5, it won't. How do you get better? You push it as hard as you can and then you rest long enough that you can come back and have another shot. Are you with me? Yeah. Are you with me?
Yes.
Push. The miracle of recurring, and I'm nearly done. In my darkest days when I could not even lift my head and we had $30,000 a month coming in residual income, it was fucking awesome. Because it's the only thing that let me pay my bills and feed my family. If you are not building something recurring into your business, you are going to burn out fast and your safety net has got big holes in it. Please, guys. All right? Aiden, how good was our chat last night? Right? $100,000 a year. Right there. Right? With one simple idea, we talk about putting a recurring element. Now, how do you keep a recurring customer? Jamie Ola knows it well. Give them value. Give them something that every month they just love you for it. Okay? The miracle of recurring. Get it in your business. If you need some ideas, come and talk to me. Come and talk to anyone in this room. Right? We're happy to help. Because in the end, you have an asset. And when you're a burned out entrepreneur at the bottom of your basket, and you can turn around and say, I still got something, baby, and it's worth $100,000. Who wants to buy it from me because I'm done? Right? You don't get that as an employee. You get a handshake and a gold watch and thanks very much for 20 years of service. You guys get to build an asset. You get to stand with nothing and come up with an idea and build something that people go, whoa. You're so lucky. build your asset. The beat of your own drum. Dad, I'm so sorry, man. The beat of your own drum. You know, when I fire up social media, and we've all done it, Princess Fergie, she's not a princess anymore, but she said it best, social media is a trough filled with bitter fluid. Our kids are exposed to that. There's plenty of joy out there as well, right? But the beat of your own drum. If what you need to be unbelievably filled with joy is this, then why are you going for this? It's the beat of your drum. When somebody posts on Facebook how their $700,000 launch just crushed it, how much of that pays your school fees for your kids? None. When somebody just posts photos of themselves on some island beach talking about the $10 million exit that they just had, how much of that pays your bills? None. And yet it eats us up because we ask ourselves, why not me? What am I doing? How am I not kicking this? Right? When people post that they just had an $800,000 month, what they didn't tell you was that they spent $790,000 on paid traffic.
Yeah. That's true.
Right? And kudos to them. Hell yeah. How many times a day do you want to do that? Make 10 grand a month. I'll do that all day. Alright? Cost me $790 to make 100. Some, yeah. I mean. But that's not your drum, is it? Beat your drum. Because if you're dancing to your tune, it looks pretty darn cool. But it looks ugly when you try and dance to someone else's. You are not Jamie Oler. You are not Gary Oler. You are not Mario Brown. You are not Walt Bayliss. But damn, you're the best you got. You are everything you need to be right now. Beat that drum, baby. And dance that tune. It's yours. It's yours. Make sure you hear the music. And time in gratitude. This really helped me. I want to do something quickly. I need some help. David, smell that for me and tell me what you smell.
Coffee.
Coffee, explain it to me.
I don't drink coffee, but it's...
Tell me what you smell.
I just smell coffee.
Okay, cool. Good start. Karthik, feel that for me. Tell me, give me a description on how it feels in your fingertips.
Soft.
Soft, okay, good. What else? What else? What else can you feel?
Powdery.
Powdery, beautiful. Look at that for me and describe it for me. Tell me what you see.
Just eat it.
Just eat it.
Just eat it.
Plastic box with a sandwich or cake.
Plastic box with a sandwich or a cake. What's on top?
Tomato.
The unbelievable skill of the power of smell that came from here. The incredible sensory perception that can tell you that it feels powdery, papery, slightly rough, smooth on the edges. The description that it's in a plastic box with a little red tomato on top, it's a cut sandwich. The unbelievable complexity of taking that image and describing it. Do you know, we're in a room full of damn smart people and there's not a single person on the planet that can code anything that comes fucking near that. When they celebrated that the AI system could recognize a cat, in 76% of YouTube videos, everybody said, this is amazing. Until they said, hang on, a 2-year-old can do that with 100% accuracy. Time in gratitude. You got the unbelievable deal. You got the sensory perception, the sight, the ability to think. You got all of that on a lifetime deal. You didn't have to subscribe.
Yeah.
You got it for free. Isn't that amazing? You got the best damn deal on the planet and you got the lifetime deal. You got it. Time in gratitude. Look around you and celebrate that that leaf is green. And that dirt feels grainy. And that bed is soft. Look around and feel thankful that you get to take another breath. Just be grateful because it really helps. Never forget, you got the lifetime deal, baby. All right? Now, this one posted by Craig Crawford helped me a lot. You are not your business. Business depends on profit and loss, balance sheets, EPCs. All right? You are not your business. Because if I took all of that away from you, you still have so much to offer that it's scary. You are not your business. You are not your business. You are not your business. I could take everything from you, and tomorrow you have it all back again. Separate the two. You are amazing. You are not your results. You are so much better than that. You are not your business. Keep it separate. Right? Please. The incredible power of Are You Okay? Wow. Damn. Somebody not in the IM world sent me a message probably on Messenger, I think, and said, hey man, I haven't heard from you, just want to see how you're doing. Holy shit, man, I cried when I got that message. Damn, I cried. Because I was doing bad. Real bad. And somebody reached out and said, mate, are you okay? Whoa. Whoa. If you see people around you, just please reach out and ask, are you okay? Hey man, how you doing? You know, in this industry, anytime somebody reaches you on Messenger and says, how you doing, you say, when's your launch? Is that not true? Ryan Phillips, have you and I not apologized to each other 10 times for that conversation? Hey man, how you doing? When's your launch? Don't feel bad. It's just what we do. It stops now. Because I want you guys to reach out to each other from this event and say, how are you doing? Not your business, they're separate things. We're mates. The incredible power of Are You Okay? And you don't have to pay anything for it, but you get to give it over and over. Please get it done. Please, guys. There's so much pain in our circles that this is needed. And loyalty is the new list. Loyalty is the new list. Jamie covered that well and truly. So we talked about the fact that if you cover a sequential series of steps, you get to a predetermined destination, and sometimes it's a dance, and sometimes it's a straight line. We talked about that, right? Yes. It goes up and down. We talked about that, right?
Yes.
Yes. And we said, what's at the end? And it's your goals and dreams. And I want to ask you something really clearly, and we talked about this already. Please make sure that what's at the end is filled with joy. Filled with joy. Who knows this movie? Yeah? In my opinion, and that's what you're all here for, in my opinion, one of Will Smith's best roles, right? It's called The Pursuit of Happiness. And it's about a guy selling, I think, some machines and really wanted to make it into the stockbroking industry. And there's that scene, you remember that scene where he's sleeping in a public toilet with his son? And it's not called The Pursuit of the Stock Market Millionaire. It's called The Pursuit of Happiness. What are you doing? Make sure it's going to fill you with joy. Because that just gives you buzz, man. That's what gives you juice. Fill your life with happiness. And here, I've got one more slide after this. You are exactly enough. And I think I've covered that. You are tall enough. You are old enough. You are young enough. You are skilled enough. You are connected enough. You are exactly enough. You are exactly enough. Nobody looks at a tree and says, man, your branches should have been just a bit taller. You know, that bark's a bit rough. Leaves are a bit too dark. No, that tree's perfect. It's a perfect tree. And you are exactly enough. You are exactly enough. And I want to leave you with this. Because sometimes it takes just 10 seconds of courage. And courage doesn't always have to look like a guy with a rifle running into a war or something that makes no sense. It doesn't have to look like somebody bursting into a flaming building and rescuing a child. That's courage for sure, but it doesn't have to look like that. Sometimes courage looks like a 12-year-old who stands up to a bully and says enough. That's courage. Sometimes courage looks like a mother who's been abused, who leaves with her children despite having anything else to offer because she finally had the courage to walk. That's courage. That's my new brand, by the way. 10secondsofcourage.com. 10 seconds of courage. It's up. 10secc.com. 10 seconds. I didn't realize that until I said that. Because sometimes courage looks like this. Can everybody see me at the back? Sometimes that's courage, right? Sometimes you just got, like, it's a clenched fist and it's a little quiet moment and it's you going, come on. And sometimes courage looks like this. Enough. I'm done. I'm not going to take it anymore. Sometimes courage is quiet and sometimes courage is reserved. And you know what follows courage is victory. And sometimes victory looks like this. Yeah! 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 Sometimes you get to win. Take it with you. I love you. Thank you very much.